Well, hi, how are you tonight? I'm excited to hop in and say hey, and I hope this works okay because I am trying Facebook Live for the first time from my computer instead of my handheld. I didn't know you could do that. So let's see if this is going to work. Yay, hope it does. So if you're hopping in, just give me a comment. Let me know you're here. I'd love to say hi to you. But tonight we're going to talk about, just for a few minutes, about launching and building your business on a budget of zero even, because when I got started, that's where I was and tried to build my business when I really had nothing to pour into it. Let me see, is this connection working okay? If not, I will flip over to my handheld. But if you're on and can just say hi and let me know that you're here. Can you see and hear me okay? This is the first time I've used the computer to go live. So I just want to make sure that it's a stable enough connection through the computer. Oh, good, good, good. Okay. So yeah, when I got started with my business, almost 4 years ago, I was building my business on virtually no budget. And so I was thinking about it today as I was literally, you guys should have seen this place covered with like package material and books and all kinds of things. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I've come a long way in my business, because I remember when I started, I could barely afford to get anything for people. Um, and I didn't know how to really build my business. I just tried things, and here I am today, and I'm able to do all the things that I really want to do, or most of them anyway, to help build my business and give back. And so it got me to thinking, especially I was talking with a handful of y'all about how can you really build your business when you may not have a budget at all to get started on, or if you do have some money to begin to invest in your business, where's it best to spend that, right? Are you guys wondering those questions? Because that was totally me. Oh, good. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. And Ellen and Ginger. Awesome. There might be a little delay, so feel free to ask questions as we go along, and I will read through them and do my best to answer. And if I miss, you know me, I'll come back and comment later. But I wanted to go over a couple specifics with you guys. One, how to really get started on no budget. What resources might be good to utilize, and how you can really make it work if you have a new member sign up, and be able to give them a resource and why that's important. I want to talk a little bit about that. How to problem solve with the big picture in mind and prioritize as you do develop a budget. And then also what to consider to invest in. And so those are like the four key areas I just want to kind of tap into a little bit with you guys. Yeah, resources, right? There's so many free resources that are in our group. And I'm putting together and compiling some files off of Facebook as well for you guys. So that should be launched by the end of next month. But we're working really hard to pull some things together for you guys. But a little background on when I got started. When I got started with Young Living, we started for the product, for what it brought to our family, for health and wellness, like hopefully so many of you did. I find that most times when someone jumps into Young Living as a business and intentionally share, they're doing so secondary to becoming a member for their own right, for their own benefit, for the health and wellness side of this. And I hope that that's you, because truly that's your key investment, is the products that you're purchasing for your own health and wellness. That is the single most important thing to invest in to grow your business, is investing in the product to grow your own health and wellness journey, because your stories is going to be the biggest piece, and your authenticity is your biggest piece to growing and sharing with other people. So it was funny, I was talking with someone earlier, and then I was looking at, there was like a blog post or something that came across my feed, and it was just talking about how much you have to invest in a business. And someone else had sent me a link this morning. It was just weird that this all happened today. Someone else sent me a link this morning saying, you know, MLMs and network marketing companies are just out to recruit people to invest, and you end up in the red all the time when you're in a network marketing business. Now, I've been around the block for a little while in the network marketing world, and I can see where it could get a bad rap in that regard. But I've been in Young Living long enough to know that that is absolutely not the case in Young Living, because the only required investment to be a part of Young Living is the investment that you're making to your own health and wellness. You don't have to buy inventory. You don't have to spend money on product just for the sake of having product, because the truth is the $100 a month that equals what you need to receive those commissions um, is product for you and your family. That's product for you and your family. That's not product for inventory to sell off of. So I just want to make sure you know that right off the bat, because that is exciting. That is so thrilling that we don't have to invest in product that we have to then, you know, stress about if we're going to be able to sell it off of our shelves. We don't have that at all. And that's awesome. As a matter of fact, my inventory and my stock is my stock. Like, I don't get rid of it. It's mine. You know, like the X amount of valor that I have hiding, the peace and calming that I have, right? It's mine. So we don't encourage having that stock. But let's jump into talking about what some of the things that can come your way are, and some of the questions I'm sure you have are things like business cards and websites. Shout out some of the questions that you kind of think about, like, do I really need this right now? How important is it to have this right now? Some of those things, like I said, are business cards or having a website. How would you handle samples? How would you give away prizes if you really have no budget at all? Okay, truth be told, I got my very first business card on our 2nd anniversary as a gold leader in Young Living. I did not have business cards prior to that. Call me crazy. Yeah, you have to really love them absolutely first, right? Your products, so you don't even want to give them away. So I did not have business cards until we had reached our 2-year anniversary and had hit the level of gold, or had almost hit the level of gold, right around that point. And y'all, I was like blown away that I didn't need business cards, because a lot of this business is one-on-one. Now, is it good to have some business cards so you can hand it to people? Absolutely. Do you absolutely need business cards to grow your business? No, you don't. You need personal relationships with people where you're sharing the product one-on-one with them, or in a group setting, or however, just even friends getting together for coffee and then sharing about the product. You don't need a business card to really get in front of them. Yeah, using your link and just send them a link to sign up. Website, I really didn't have a website that I utilized. I have a website now and it's completely underutilized. I think people, can you guys hear the dogs barking? They're howling out there. I think maybe someone just got here. It's very distracting. Can you just peek out there and just see if everything's okay? We're on a farm. And normally they do this in the middle of the night when there's the coyotes out there. Can you hear them, you guys? For real?
They're in a fight with the coyotes.
Are they for
no,
real?
Not a fight,
oh.
A yelling match.
Oh, okay. Apparently there must be other wild animals out there howling. And so the dogs are protecting us, howling back. Okay, that was a little scary. Yeah, Ellen, right? That wasn't even Rusty. He's like hiding someplace. Okay, back to the drawing board. What was I talking about? Not every day you have 6 dogs howling outside your door. Website. I think it's a great thing to have some websites. I have a website, but I really use it just as a landing platform. You know, I give it, if someone wants my information, I have a card. But I mean, at this stage of the game, it's still not even necessary to have a website, but having, I love that Young Living has a website for us. So we're going to talk a little bit more about resources, but I just want to address the question, do you need it right now? And I did not need it right now when I first started. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're on a budget, kind of list all the things that you might want to get at some point, and then really think about each piece and what it's going to do for your business through this conversation and even afterwards, and just reflect on a few things. I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask yourself, and then decide what's important right now, because you don't need it all. It's really cool to have it all, and it looks very professional to have it all, but you don't need to have it all to grow your business. So One thing that I'll give you some tips. One thing that I did to give samples out and to have prizes at my classes and parties and things like that. Now my dog comes out. He missed the party. Come on, come say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Hi. One of the things that I did in the very beginning for prizes and samples is I sampled from and built prizes from what I had. I built prizes from what I had. So what I did was I went to Abundant Health for You, and that's, I'll have to type it in the links or if someone can type it out in the comments, but it's Abundant Health, the number for the letter U.com. And they have a tray of like 144 little dram bottles, and they hold like 20 drops. So when you put like 10 drops in there, it's half full. And I built a bunch of drams from oils that I currently had in my stock. And I didn't use the whole bottle. You know, I would look and say, you know, I'm willing to utilize a third of my bottle of Digize or a third of my bottle of sclerescence that I got free or whatever, and fill a bunch of the bottles, put a little label on the top of them all that said what it was. And then I would just put those in a fun bag. And at my classes, if you won something, you just dip your hand in the bag and you'd pull out a surprise sample of oil. And that's what I did. And some of you probably remember that, but that's what we did for the first few months as we were building and growing our team and business. And I didn't have, we didn't have a strong upline support that gave us the prizes and we could join in their parties or anything like that. So we had to just kind of come up with some of these things. But that was one of the things I did for samples that was a hit and everyone loved them. I did a ton of those. That also is a really smart business decision, because if you purchase product from Young Living and you use it for purposes of building your business, you can write that product off as a tax write-off. That's a good thing. So if you're giving from what you have, then what you have can be written off. So it's a win-win. The other thing I did, I just really did a lot of prizes that way. If we did, many of you might remember some of our online classes for the first year, and everyone loved this, but whenever you won something, I would ask the question, if you could try anything at all, what would your top 3 picks be? And then I would basically hope and pray that you pick something that I had and be able to give you a sample or a couple of trials of some of those things, right? Thank you guys for posting that, both of you. That's awesome. So the link is in there. But those were some of the things that I did in the beginning on a zero budget to get me started, using from what I had to sample from. And as far as handing out materials for people with a business card and website, not having those sorts of things, I just printed up. I got some cardstock and I would print up quarter pages, and I made out little invitations, and I would have all the events that I had going on for the month written on like a postcard size, and it also had my contact information. So whenever I met somebody when we were out or anything like that, I could not just give them a business card, but actually hand them an invitation with all of my stuff. Do you find this interesting? Yeah. So I could give them an invitation with all of the details about how to come to an event. Okay, so do you guys find that a little bit helpful, or even just like, okay, phew, I don't need to stress about having all these things right now, right up front, because I hope that that just alleviates some pressure on you right off the bat. So resources. So let's say you have your very first member, or you have new members. And when I had first signed up, again, I had no budget to get started on in terms of building my business budget. And in my first month, we had signed up, I don't know, 5 or 6 new members. My second month, the same thing. We grew really fast those first 3 or 4 months. It was crazy. And one of the things that I was taught and was really impressed upon is hook up your new members with some resources. Give them some things that are going to help them to be able to understand and utilize their products. Because if you just sell a kit and you don't give that person resources, be it our Facebook group or a recipe book or some other resource guide that you can get, we're really doing a disservice to those members that we sign up. So here's the thing. When you enroll a new member, and you yourself spend 50 PV, and your new member orders a premium kit, you're getting at least $50 back from Young Living. Compensation wise, if you need me to break that down for you, we'll do that another time. But just know that you're going to get $50 back when you sign up somebody and they order their premium starter kit. Now with that $50, I suggest taking a few dollars of it and hooking them up with a resource. So what I did was I had gotten some resource books that would kind of show them, like, they can look some things up, they could look up specific oils and just things that could really help them support how to use their oils in different circumstances and scenarios. And so it's a really great investment because it empowers your new member. And when you empower your new member, that's more like linking arms with them, because what you don't want to happen is for them to not have any resources and call you all the time. Now, that might work for one or two people, but imagine as you grow your business and you add one or two people, then you add two more people, then you add two more people, and before you know it, you've got an organization of hundreds of people. You're not going to have the time to take all those phone calls. So you want to empower your people. Absolutely. Oh gosh, I missed something. I do that and the mom likes to beat me to the punch. I must have missed a comment. But some of the resources that I really like, and I can't mention all the great resources, but the place I love to go shopping for resources is discoverlsp.com. It's called Life Science Publishing. They have amazing books. But if you're in a budget and you can't get the $10 book that you might really want to get somebody, you can get little things like the welcome book. Oh, backtrack. The little $10 books. What I did in the beginning was I gifted the resources the month following after I got my check. When I got my check from Young Living, that's when I went and purchased the things for the people who signed up the month before, until eventually I could save up enough to be able to, oh, right, the recipe, I remember that. She beat you to the punch. But this way you can at least get those products or those resources to those new members, even if it's a month later. And actually that could be a really great way to follow up with them a month later, right? Okay, this welcome book is amazing. Oh, I got to show you what it used to look like. That way, those of you who are like, which one is that one? I haven't seen that one before. Hang on. Formerly looked like this. Do you guys remember this one, the welcome book? We were using this one for a long time. Loved it. Jordan Schrant, who's Royal Crown Diamond and the author of that book, rewrote it. It's 90 pages roughly. I think it's like 88 pages. It's gorgeous. It's got this like cover, and look at the feel of this book. Isn't this pretty? Like, it's so nice. It goes through all the different product sections, recipes in the back. It's really awesome. And I want to say they're like $2.50 each or something like that. They have different size books. But point being is you can get some really great books and materials for really inexpensive, and you don't have to break the bank. The key is to equip them and empower them so they can own their own journey. So whatever resource that is, if you don't know much about the person that you signed up, if they're maybe they're just a casual acquaintance and you don't really know them, the welcome book is a great way to go because it's got a little of everything. The Chemical Free Home series is awesome. I know it's recently been redone. These are the original editions, but they've got different chemical free home books. There's all sorts of DIY books. Aroma Clean, there's a whole aroma series that's really awesome. And they even just came out with another one called Now What. So you could even pair a couple of books together, Now What and Aroma Clean or something like that, or the welcome book and then Now What, whatever you wanted. Point being is there's lots of $4 and under books that are filled with amazing things to really equip your new person. So we could continue to talk about that one, but I want to talk to you a little bit about, before we go into kind of what to consider to invest in, just kind of how to think about it. So if you think big picture in mind with your business, I want to encourage you to sort of problem solve through this, because this is where some of the best ideas come from and the best resources can be found, is when we're faced with frustration in our business. And we face that frustration with the mindset of, how can I problem solve? How can I rise above this? How can I fix this? And that's usually when new systems get implemented and we grow in our leadership in our own business. It also helps us prioritize what should be first. And so one of the things I've always said, and business gurus say, is that where you're weakest in your business is where you want to put your money. Where you're weakest in your business is where you want to give stuff away. So let me translate that big picture, right? So if you are are a great at photography and things like that, and you take amazing pictures and you're gifted in that area, naturally doing that and continuing to do that for yourself is something you want to keep in house. But if it's not something you're really good at, that's where you might hire someone to take some pictures for you so you have some stock photography, right? You might want to buy photos from someone who is really good at it so you have stock photos. So you would, because you have a strength, you hold on to it in-house, and if you're weak at it, that's where you go and you spend your money. Likewise in your business, there's dog hair on me now. Likewise in your business, where you're feeling your weakest at is where you want to put your money. So when I had first started out, one of the things that I knew that I needed to get better at was going to be follow-up and meeting new people. I wanted to meet lots of new people. And so what I did was I gave lots away for coming back to my next event. Some of you have been around for a while and you were local to me might remember that we had a rotating schedule. We had the same time, same place, every week an event go on. And I always encouraged coming back and bringing a friend, coming back and bringing a friend. And I incentivized coming back and bringing a friend. And everyone got a gift. And that gift was just a little small dram of some essential oils to sample and try. But what it did was it took care of an area I felt weak in my business. So I gave a little bit away in the area that I wanted to strengthen. So when you think about your prizes, when you think about even doing something like a vendor event, when you think about what materials should I purchase and invest in and give to somebody, think about the areas that you don't feel very strong in, and that's where you want to begin to prioritize where to put your budget. Also, evaluate if something's not working, stop spending money there. If it's not working, change it, right? What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So the same applies in this situation. So I want to encourage you in that. So what are a couple things that you might want to look at investing in early on in your business? A couple things that I would definitely suggest looking at is your resources for a new member. But also there's a great tool, and I just want to highlight this because the price is going to change March 1st. So I want to let you guys know this. Grow Workspace, GRO workspace.com. Go check it out, y'all. We've been doing all of our classes recently, or the majority of our classes. The scripts have all been written already from Grow Workspace, and the imagery is all done already. I just added our little name on it. And I tweaked the words to make it sound like me, but Grow Workspace did all the work. And right now, you can be a member. I want to say it's $6.95 a month, and it's going to change to $14.95 a month March 1st. But if you get in on it now, you're locked in at that price. And you get all their classes that they've done thus far, and 2 classes every month that they'll be adding to the vault, if you will, moving forward. So if scripts and imagery and having all those materials done for you is something that you want to just have at your fingertips and you don't want to make it yourself, that could be a really good investment for your business. Some other tools, Oily Tools is a really great one as you begin to grow your business. I don't think it's necessary until probably Senior Star Executive is where you really want to see about having Oily Tools with having a downline, because it's an app that calculates an estimate for your check, but it also has your entire downline at your fingertips on an app on your phone, so you can map where they work, where they live. You can call them, you can text them, you can see their stats in terms of their business and stuff like that. So as you're developing and growing, that's a definite is Oily Tools. Another great one to look at is Project Broadcast, projectbroadcast.com, and that's a texting service. So a lot of people have merged from doing emails to now wanting to receive texts and things like that. And so Project Broadcast is a great way to do that. So if you've been getting our weekly business call reminders or our 30 days of IPA daily text message that goes out, I'm actually using Project Broadcast. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like and how it feels. And it's been really awesome. I can put more details in there later. And I don't want to turn this into, this is definitely not a, Kristen said go buy this. This is just me sharing with you, you know, if you're going to consider investing somewhere in your business, these are some really great places that you can invest in, because Grow Workspace is going to equip you in your business training as well, because we're using a lot of it here, but you can have that on your own and at your fingertips. But it's also going to equip you with all the scripting that you might want, the imagery that you might want. You can kind of build and piece it together and have it totally at your fingertips. And Project Broadcast would be a great way to even work with prospects through text, having campaigns sent out to them. It's really a pretty cool thing. But those are just some of my thoughts and ideas as I was thinking today. Is that, like I said, I was sitting around here thinking, when I first started, y'all, I didn't have it to invest in my business. And I just want to reassure you that these things, while awesome, are not necessary and they're not required for you to build a growing, thriving business. They're not required at all. What is required is that you are loving your product and that you see your products as a lifestyle. And I know all y'all are. You're all, I'm seeing who's in here, y'all. Y'all are all over this. And that's really it. And then sharing it with other people. So I hope that this allows you to breathe a deep sigh of relief and maybe gives you just a couple of pointers on some areas that you're like, okay, when the budget changes, that's what I'm going to get. That's what I'm going to get. And you can begin to prioritize. So, yeah, Ellen, totally. The Grow Workspace is a great place to grow in knowledge. And y'all, we have an amazing group, and it's being beefed up all the time. But I am all for not recreating the wheel, and they have put things together that I can share and teach the classes from. But unfortunately, me using those materials and teaching from doesn't equip you to teach using the same materials, because I don't own those. I'm part of Grow Workspace as well. So that's something that you could use for yourself. All right, y'all. I hope this was really, really helpful. I'm going to close in just a second. I'm going to give you a sneak peek in my oily cabinet. But I will also stick around online. If you guys have questions, keep asking, and I'll respond to them online. But you guys want to see my oily cabinet? My little oily cabinet over here. Fun stuff in here. Look at this, you guys. My husband did this for me. Isn't that gorgeous? And all the trays, these trays come out. Let me see if I can see how full they are. Oh my gosh, look at this, look at this. So they're all right here at my fingertips. So I know y'all were worried. You're like, Kristen's in an RV. How's she going to travel with her oils? I know you were worried about me. I'm hooked up. My husband built it for me. All right, y'all. It's good to see you. Have a great night. I will talk to you soon.